set up some networking events, and in the end, found out that fashion, film, and art has the same problem. You know, fashion people find it really hard to meet other fashion professionals. So it's kind of a no-brainer really to do it in all creative industries, which is where the idea of Creative Industry Hub was born out of. So really this is just an extension of what I used to do for those of you that used to come to my events. Now we're doing conferences. In the future we'll be doing training as well. So, you know, if anybody wants to learn any specific skill sets to help them get forward in their music careers, then we'll be able to offer that to you.
Thank you to George. He's asked me to talk about YouTube for musicians getting discovered. Well, I'm also going to be talking about the monetization aspect of YouTube, because I think, especially for up-and-coming artists, there generally tends to be this sort of gloss where individuals think that, oh, they can make £1 million from making a video go viral, and it doesn't always necessarily work out that way.
You really kind of need to think about what it is. I mean, without question, you are going to further your career the more people that you actually work with. If you're really going to kind of cut it and get a major deal, is look at focus on getting some really good management first, because they are kind of like the trusted sources.
You know, the best advice you can give to an emerging artist or songwriter, composer, lyricist, producer is to be prolific. Constantly put stuff out. It's a long, long, long career, and if you can create somewhere between 30 to 50 original pieces of music, either in complete form or part form or great, you know, cool melodies and loops and sounds, but 30 to 50 pieces a year, yeah, then, you know, that's a lot of music in a 30 or 40 year career.
An artist would sign with a manager who's going to take about 20%, then sign to a label, where if it's an indie they might take 50% or 75 or 80 if it's a major. A sort of booking agent's normally going to take about 10-15% on your gigs. PRS will take about 2.5%. PPL is free to join and it's not for profit, so you should definitely do that. But as you can see, the distributor is also going to take a cut. So the flow of money is going that way, but it's the artist who ends up with not a lot. With the DIY route, you've got a lot less people who are going to be taking cuts, and that's why it's more beneficial to do it this way.
If the data isn't there, especially at the moment, with a lot of digital services, the money doesn't come back to you because there's no way of tracking who owns a track, what it's doing, how it's being used, and how to discover it. And we find a lot of companies and artists are giving us a lot of tracks where it's got a simple MP3 with very, very basic data, no copyright information, no other information on it, and then expect us to help them make money on it. And one of our main jobs is to find out what that information is and where we're going to get it from. Often it's been 20 years or something like that since the track was created, and it's a long detective job in order to dig out that sort of information.
So in 2000, when I was looking across the world as I joined Warner Music International for the first time, you could see all these markets really from 98 onwards had started to collapse because of piracy. But the UK was pretty resilient, and it was resilient because of the way that the music industry in the UK adapted to find those new audiences. It was dominant in compilations, it was dominant in creating artist career-spanning greatest hits records. There was a huge amount of innovation and product development that meant that whilst technology was challenging the traditional CD market, it was finding new customers and new people to buy music.
I must say that the power and the dynamics in the record labels is an ever-changing situation, depending on where the enthusiasm and breakthrough acts are coming from. I'd like you to make your own minds up as to whether you think things were better than they are now. But one thing's for sure, we did have a lot of fun, and my God, it's a wonder I still have a liver. But the challenge to start and build a structure or label that will survive success and failure over the years is basically still the same. The requirements are to be a risk taker, never taking no for an answer, having the ability to discover and nurture new talent, be a visionary, have a head for business, most important, Pay your royalties, even more important. Listen to advice and sometimes ignore it. Build a team. You can't do everything yourself.
I got this piece of advice. I thought the guy that told me it was an arsehole. And it took about a week for me to realise that he was right. And I don't think it's ever been so important as today. We started trying too hard. And I guess it happens to everybody in business, especially in the creative industry, where you start trying to give the market what you think they want, not what they need. Because just like this room, there's millions of rooms and millions of other people all around the world doing the same thing, thinking if they learn about digital marketing strategies or how to work Twitter or how to get a viral video on YouTube. It's bollocks. I'll tell you how to get a viral video on YouTube. It'd be fucking amazing. Because there's a common denominator about all viral videos on YouTube is they're brilliant. And everybody loves something about them. And it's a common denominator about every song on the radio that you hear. It's amazing. And every band that gets big, you might not like them, but there's something great about them. And that's the main takeaway for me. If you could leave and think nothing else matters apart from that. Because if you get that idea right, all this other stuff will come to you. It doesn't matter if you sat in the bath. It doesn't matter if you sat at a mixing desk, or if you sat on the bus, or you walk into the tube, or you're having sex, or you're at a funeral. That idea is it. And it will often come when you're not looking for it and you're not trying for it.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.